Hey guys, it's Margarita Yang, and my intuition is telling me that someday in the future, I'm going to be involved in a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. Now, I don't know what the lawsuit would be for or why I would be involved in a lawsuit in the first place, but because I help people with their financials, if something's wrong with a financial report that I give to a client, I have a very strong feeling that I will be sued for it because they made a bad decision out of the report, even if it's because they gave me the wrong information that I used to create the report, right? That's not my fault. It's not in my control if someone else gave me the wrong information or didn't tell me information that would have affected the report. But we live in a very litigious society, so I have to prepare for that kind of risk, right? So that involves finding a very good business lawyer. Now, one of the things about finding a very good business lawyer is like if you read advice on how to find one, a lot of the articles and videos you're going to see on the internet are going to tell you, oh, ask your friends and family for referrals on if they know any good business lawyers. But I actually don't think that's the right approach you should use to find a good business lawyer, because I don't know about you, but every time that I have asked a friend or a family member for a referral, not for a lawyer, but for any professional, whether it's a dentist, piano teacher, a video editor. That one was last month. I asked for a referral for a video editor. None of them were ever up to my standards. So apparently I was told 2 weeks ago that I have extremely high standards. Well, the thing is, if I'm going to pay somebody to do a job, I expect the best work. You know, I'm okay if I have to pay a lot of money to get the job done, but hey, if I'm going to pay this amount of money to someone, which I worked very hard to earn this money, you know, I expect that person to at least do a good job. But apparently not everyone approaches life the same way. So if I'm going to hire a lawyer and I'm going to pay this lawyer a few $100s an hour to draft up a service agreement, right? I need a service agreement for my clients right now written up. I want the best lawyer that I can find, right? I don't want just a cookie cutter lawyer. How do I go about doing that? So I asked my friends who are lawyers. I didn't ask them for referrals, but I asked them, how do I find another lawyer that's good? And they gave me very good advice on how to approach the process. So that's what I would like to share with you today. How to find and choose a good business lawyer. So my lawyer friends, they told me the first step is to go on an award list, right? So something like superlawyers.com. So what happens is all these local lawyers, they will vote on who they believe is the best lawyer in town for a specific category. Now it's just a popularity contest, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean that they are objectively the best lawyer. But here's the thing. One, you cannot self-nominate yourself onto that list. And two, only other lawyers can nominate another lawyer. So you can't have like the general population nominating. It's great because you actually see like who in the industry thinks are like one of the best. Now, the reason why it's a popularity contest is because of specifically that. You know, if you know more people, then therefore chances are you will get nominated more than others. But that's also a good thing. Popularity contest is also a good thing because here's what my friend said. If you're a lawyer and you are not out there networking with other lawyers, then you're not doing what you should be doing. Okay? If you actually cared about advancing in your career, one of the things that you'll be doing on a regular basis is you would be out there networking and meeting other lawyers, because lawyers are very specialized, right? So you want to meet other lawyers that are in other specialties. You form all these different connections so that you can do all these referrals. So if you're not out doing that, then you're not doing what you should be doing in terms of advancing your career. So that's why she recommended super lawyers. And then the next thing after that is after you go on superlawyers.com, filter out for your city and your state. And then after that, you filter out for the category. So there were like, I think 4 business categories, which I'm going to show right here that I filtered for when I was looking for my lawyer. In those 4 categories, I guess there were at least like 20 to 30 lawyers that I jotted down because they were in the rising star category or in the super lawyer category. I copied and pasted their names into an Excel sheet. One of the ways I've easily whittled down my list is if the lawyer didn't have a profile picture, they didn't make it to my list. And the reason why is because if this lawyer did not take the time to even bother setting up and completing their entire profile, which involves uploading their profile picture, if they didn't bother to do that, then they didn't care, right? I don't want a lawyer that doesn't care about small details like that. So they didn't make the cut if they didn't have picture. And then after that, I looked through my list that I made in Excel, which had like a list of 20 to 30 lawyers individually at each person's profile, one by one, to take a look at how many percentage of their cases are for litigation. You know, I wanted to make sure the lawyer really focused on just business and not just like 25% of the time on business. Like, I want one that was closer to maybe 50% or 75%. So that whittled down my list about 10. The advice that my friends gave me is you want to have one lawyer for litigation, for when you're involved in a lawsuit, and then you want to have a general business lawyer, because chances are it's not going to be like one person is good at just both general and litigation. So just focus on a litigation when you're actually involved in a lawsuit, but then when you actually need contracts drafted up, you have a different lawyer for that. That's the kind of lawyer I need, the one for drafting contracts right now. So that's my focus. So I whittled down my list down to like 9 lawyers. And then after that, I emailed every single lawyer at the same time. So like within 10 minutes of each other, I just copied and pasted a template like, hey, I'm looking for a lawyer to draft up service contracts, and I found you on superlawyers.com. Do you have any time for a consultation so that I can get to know how you charge and get to know more about whether you're able to help me in my case? I also record their response time. Out of those 9, only 5 responded. So 4 off my list because they didn't even respond to my email. I'm not going to do the follow-up like, hello, did you get my email? Like, I'm not gonna do that. And then out of those 5, 1 responded saying that, yeah, the consultation is $399, so no. And then the other 4 had free consultations. I spoke to those 4 during my email exchange with them up until the consultation. So I not only pay attention to their response time, which I think is extremely important because lawyers have a reputation for being very unresponsive. It's important to me that this lawyer responds back to me, you know, on average in less than 2 days. I also pay attention in their email to sloppiness. A sign of sloppiness is they have typos in their email or they are not detailed enough in their email. For example, one of the lawyers, in terms of like requesting consultation, out of all the lawyers, he responded first. But the thing is, he said in his email, I'll call you tomorrow. I emailed back, what time? Like, I emailed back to him in under 5 minutes, like right away when I saw the email, what time? He didn't email me. He didn't specify what time. That really pissed me off. And then the next day, he did call me, but because he didn't specify what time, I was already in a meeting with someone else. Like, I can't stop my meeting just to hop on a consultation call with this lawyer. You know, you can't intrude on my day like that, right? So pay attention to those kinds of details. Like, how thorough are they? Are they specifying times? Do they have typos or grammar mistakes in their emails? Pay attention to, like, also, like, for example, with the profile picture that I was talking about, if they did have a profile picture and because they had a profile picture, they made it onto my list. How do they look in their profile picture? How well dressed are they in that picture? Did they just decide to wear a suit and then take a picture with their iPhone? Or did they get it like professionally taken by a photographer? That matters because it means that this person actually cares about his image and actually puts effort into his career. Another thing to pay attention to is, so when you're actually in the consultation with this lawyer, what I did was I had a list of questions already prepared because I want to make sure I treat everyone fairly when I'm interviewing them. That means that I have to ask everyone in general the same questions and explain to them in general the same way why I'm looking for a lawyer to draft up my service agreements and that I'm looking to build a Fortune 500 company one day. So that's why it's very important that I get this contract done. Everyone was different, right? The things I paid attention to was the 2 lawyers that I was impressed by the most. They spent half an hour talking to me in this free consultation. So they were extremely generous with their time. And in that half hour, they were asking me questions like, what exactly are your future plans? Why did you start this company? How do you see it growing? What's your vision for this company? Like, they really wanted to go in depth on like exactly what it is I plan to do so that they can like help me further down the line, not just with this contract, but also beyond this one-time work. And the 2 others that didn't impress me at all, one was like a 10-minute phone call. He didn't know how to lead the conversation, so he didn't know how to ask me very in-depth questions that really impressed me that those 2 other lawyers did. He kind of like just had me lead the conversation. You know, it's my first time interacting with these lawyers. Like, I don't know how to lead the conversation. So there was that one. And then the other one was the one that was the rude one who just called me out of the blue with no appointment. I was also just straight up not impressed when we actually did speak on the phone. And the reason why is because he was just so focused on his time. He didn't take any time at all in the phone call to really figure out like, what exactly is this company doing? What exactly do you want to grow this into? He didn't care. He just had this very cookie cutter script where he was talking about all the different clients that he's helped and this car dealership that he works with on a regular basis. Like, I don't care who your other clients are. I only care about what I need done. I don't care all these other people you helped. How can you help me? That's really what the focus should be. But 2 or 3 times in the conversation, he already said, oh, we're only 8 minutes into this conversation. We can't talk about whether we're going to be on a retainer basis or not. Then at the 10-minute mark, he says, we're 10 minutes into this conversation. At the 13-minute mark, he said, we're 13 minutes into this conversation. Like, that's rude, you know? Like, I don't want to be like, I'm being rushed through this, especially over something that's this important, and I'm gonna pay somebody a few $100s an hour to do. And on top of that, that lawyer, which was just totally unimpressive, I told him specifically, hey, this company is going to be a multi-billion-dollar company someday. This is going to be huge. And I'm going to offer services that no other company is doing. So it's gonna be very innovative and creative, and it's gonna blow my competition out of the water. So that means that I need a very customized contract done because I'm gonna be offering services that have never been done before in a way that nobody else can keep up with. And his response was like, great, you need a contract? This is what we're gonna do. You're gonna go online and look for a template. Find a template, a service contract agreement that you like, and bring it to me, and then I'll customize it for you. I said, you don't understand, okay? This isn't some cookie cutter accounting, bookkeeping firm that I'm creating. This is gonna be totally brand new. Nobody's seen something like this before. There's not gonna be something out there that are like a template, a contract or a template that already exists. And besides, like, I don't have that kind of like expertise to look and know like, oh, this template is good to work off of. Like, I don't have that kind of expertise. That's why I'm going to a lawyer. So yeah, cookie cutter doesn't cut it, okay? He clearly said cookie cutter in the conversation too. And he said, this is the best way for you to save money. I said, I don't care about saving money. I care about the best quality work. So, you know, that's my advice to you guys on how you can find and choose a good business lawyer. Because I don't know, guys, mediocre, average just doesn't cut it. I refuse to work with very average, mediocre people who think subpar quality work is acceptable. So that's why I need to work with the best professionals, very talented with the work, and people who are very passionate about what they do to work with me. I want to work with only the cream of the crop. In everything, not just with my business, but in my personal life. If I need to hire somebody to renovate my house, if I need to hire an interior designer, like, I only want the best because I put my best into life. Like, everything I choose to do, whether it's to do this YouTube channel, to write a book, I put in my very best into everything. Because I put in my very best, I expect the people around me that I pay to also put in their very best. So if you guys are watching this video and you're a small business owner who is looking for best business lawyer you can find in town, this strategy is going to help you find it because I found a very good business lawyer. I'm extremely happy, and his response time is like same day, and he respected my time. I said, here's a link with my availability for you to book a Zoom call. Less than an hour later, he actually used a link to book a Zoom calls. You know, he respected my time, and he was just so professional, and he gave me advice already for free on some of the problems I was facing during that consultation. And also, he was already asking me questions like, I know you want to build this into like a multi-billion-dollar company. Let's already think, how do you plan to scale this company? Are you planning to franchise this? Are you going to license out your name to other companies? So you're not doing all this work, but other people are, but they're piggybacking off your name because you have such a good reputation. He was already like trying to get me to think about ideas on exactly how this is going to scale. So, I mean, that's good. Like, that's the kind of person you want to work with. Somebody who actually gives you advice, because it's very hard to come across great advice. That's really what you're paying for when you're paying for lawyers, not just some goddamn cookie cutter contract. So that's it for you guys today. I will be back next week with another video. If you like today's video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel for more practical, in-depth advice that actually works, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.